Please contact the IT service desk before acquiring any of the recommended equipment in this video. Let's move on to talking about camera. And first we're going to talk about camera options. We're going to cover your computer's internal camera using a webcam, and perhaps we'll get really fancy and use a DSLR camera. But first we're going to talk about the position of your camera. This is the number one mistake people make when it comes to zoom. The camera is too low or too high, or the person is only taking up half the screen, or they're sitting too far away, or they're too close. Of course, all this to say, for some meetings this won't concern you. If it's an informal meeting and if it's easier for you to leave the location of your camera where it is because it's on top of your second monitor and you don't want to move it, it's totally fine. But if it's an important meeting and you have to make a good impression, considering the position of your camera is very important. Here's the key. You want to be at eye level with your camera, not above or lower. If you have to choose, go a little bit higher as it's more flattering. So get your camera at eye level. You can use books if you need to, or you can invest in something like this, a laptop stand, or if you're using a desktop, you can use a sit-stand desk. However you do it, it's up to you. And then once you've done that, in your head, divide your frame into 9 boxes, like so, and place your eye level in between the 2 vertical lines and on or just above the upper horizontal line. And lastly, the bottom of your frame should be around chest height, and there should be a little headroom at the top. So in terms of equipment, your phone or computer's camera, especially if it was made in the last couple of years, can work really well. It's convenient. You don't have to deal with the extra wires or setup. That being said, there are ways to get a better quality of picture. The first thing you can do is use an external webcam. This one here is the Logitech C920, and this range of Logitech camera is generally thought of as the industry standard, but there are many brands out there making good products. Okay, so to get your webcam working with Zoom, first thing to do is to plug it in, and then you go down to the bottom left again where it says stop video, click on that little up arrow, and as you can see there, the option is already there, like the backgrounds. It's intuitive. The option to click on your camera should just be right there. If it's not though, you can go to video settings. Once you're in video settings, you can see just underneath the picture there is the little box that displays the camera that is in use at that particular moment. As you can see, it says it's the inbuilt FaceTime camera. You click on the menu, the webcam is there to be selected, you click on that, and it should change. Most of these modern cameras are just plug and play. Occasionally you will run into trouble with drivers and other extra things you have to download, but that would be on a case-by-case basis. Most of these, as I said, they're pretty much plug and play these days. Last, you can actually use a DSLR camera with Zoom if you want to take your camera quality up a level. What we're using here is a Sony DSLR. You have much more control here with the depth of focus and exposure. The way you connect this to Zoom is again the same as the way you connect the external webcam. You'll just need to download an extra piece of software, use a slightly different cable, most likely one of these USB to USB-C cables, depending on which camera you want to use, and then you'll of course need a tripod of some kind. We can go over this with you privately if any of you want to go down this route. So here's a quick comparison of all 3 of the options. The computer cam on the top left, the webcam on the top right, and then the DSLR image on the bottom. And it's pretty self-explanatory there, the differences. The computer camera, all 3 are not bad, but you can see the jumps in quality between the computer camera up to the webcam and the DSLR. Those are your options.